Page 21, Merrily We Roll Along. On page 20, they're introducing you to a new note for the left hand, the B. You've been in C position down here all along. Now they simply want you to move your little finger down one note to the B. So you're in this position. We started to get out of the C position. That did it right there. And the idea is it introduces a new chord. They show the chords at the bottom of the page. You already have the C chord. You know what that is. And I suggest you do this in both hands, but Alfred doesn't present it that way, so I'm going to wait. Because we got to do this in the right hand too eventually. We'll do that later. C chord. At the bottom you see the second chord is a G7 chord. And that's these notes. How do I say this? For now, that's the G7 chord you're going to use. Just memorize it. Memorize those notes. Memorize this pattern in the finger, these fingers. Just that's it. Again, we're giving little bits and pieces to the whole picture, and as we go through it, we'll gradually give you more bits and pieces and link the bits and pieces together into a whole picture. This is another bit. We have the C chord, that's one bit. The G7 chord is another piece. And in the music, the B is that next to the bottom line. So you need to know what it is in the music, know where it is on the keyboard. That next to the bottom line in a bass clef is this B on the piano. Middle C, you got to go all the way down to the bottom to C here. None of these other B's will work. It's got to be this B. I'll give you the chords. Why they're important and all that, I'll get to that later. Just know that they are important chords to know for now. In Merrily We Roll Along, you get these chords. In the left hand, you see the C chord for the first two measures. And the third measure over, you get that G7 chord. That's it. That's just what you're going to do. Get to where you can do that without looking at the keyboard. You need to be able to feel your way along a keyboard, and going up and down one note is important to feel that. Now at the top of page 21, they're introducing you to another symbol, and that's that curved line between two notes. Here we go. That curved line is actually used for three different things in music. And it can get confusing as to which thing it's referring to. So let's just talk about this, tied notes. We're going to tie two notes together. The key word there is two. You can't tie more than two notes at a time. And what they do is they just put that line between the notes. So to tie notes together, first off, the notes have to be the same note, the same key on the piano. You can't change keys. Same key. And there can only be two of them. If you want to tie more than two notes together, you have to put that line in between, or that curved line in between each pair of notes. That's how we can tie them together. So at the beginning of this piece in the left hand, you see all these curved lines. There's three of them, one for each note in the chord. And that's important because in a chord, you got to tie every note individually. You can't just do one tie for the whole chord. Every note is an individual, because in a lot of music, one or more notes won't be tied. You'll have to play them again. It's like here, if the top note were not tied, there's no line there, just the bottom notes tied, then in the second measure I'd have to hold the bottom notes down and play the top note again. That's why they gotta have it on all the notes. And it simply means you play the first note, the first chord, and you hold it down for the length of both. You tie them together. This is a way that we can make a note last longer than the time signature allows. Because in the time signature you only get 4 beats in a measure. Well, that would mean that a note can only last 4 beats. And that measure's done, you gotta go on. Well, how do you get a note to last longer than 4 beats? Because no note given is longer than 4 beats. It's not allowed in 4/4 time. You can't have a note longer than 4 beats in 4/4 time. Yeah. So they tie them together. So at the beginning of this chord is going to be 8 beats long. Oh, you're just going to love it. You just push it down and then hold it forever while you're doing stuff in the other hand. That's okay. and that's a tie. Now there is a note there, a little paragraph right under the title of the piece about playing the hands separately. I've been over that. When you approach a piece of music, yes, it's best to tackle this one hand at a time for a bit till you're comfortable with the fingering and all that, and the rhythms and so forth, because the rhythms will be different. Who knows what's going on? And it tells you to practice the right hand medium loud and the left hand soft. Well, that's what I was talking about. Bring out the melody. That's how soft or how medium loud you're going to have to decide, but you know, just the idea is one hand is louder than the other. And remember, you can use the scales to do this. So hopefully you are doing this C major scale every day you're practicing. You start with that before you start doing the stuff in the book. And just one octave up and down is good enough, but you can practice one playing the right hand loud and the left hand soft, and then the left hand loud and the right hand soft and all that. That's fine. Now, look at this piece. 4/4 time, 2 lines long, no repeat sign on this one. The hands are playing at the same time. The right hand has the melody. We're going to play the right hand louder than the left. The left hand has these chords, the C chord and the G7 chord. Dynamics, MF is mezzo forte, medium loud, moderately loud, sort of loud, kind of loud, yeah, whatever. I don't know what that is. It's a little softer than loud, but it's louder than sort of soft. You decide how loud that is, and once you've decided that, just make the left hand softer. And make sure you hold that left hand down on those tied notes, and that's the way it works. Other than that, you quarter notes, half notes, and whole notes, and we're good to go, I hope. So let's try this out. I'll give us 4 counts. We'll play it to check the notes and the rhythms. It says merrily, you do merrily later. We're going to go slowly right now. So put your hands in C position. 1, 2, ready, go.